Good evening. Thank you for joining and thank you for tuning in to tonight Unwind Mindfulness Meditation Practice Group session. So I hope you had a nice Dragon Boat Festival holiday yesterday and you feel well. So now, arriving into this moment, after completing all the activities tonight or earlier in the day, welcoming yourself as you are welcoming you joining, welcoming yourself to arrive into this moment. So as usual, as well as always, we can take a few moments to check in, to turn our lens inward, noticing our body, checking into this body, allowing the body to plant into the chair or the floor. If you are lying down, you can also feel the back in touch with the bed or the mat. Noticing your weight, the pressure, the energy level in this moment. Perhaps you had already your dinner, or you may have some snacks or drinks, or perhaps you may feel a little bit empty without any food for a while. Noticing what is going on in the body. Without any goals or destination to go to, just feeling and sensing, being in this moment. And then gently shifting your focus, your attention to notice the mind, noticing the mental state in this moment, whether you feel excited, stressed, or irritated, annoyed, confused. So, no matter what you feel, acknowledge them, honoring what inside, what is going on inside you. On this Friday evening, if possible, guiding the attention to this moment. If you notice distractions, if you notice mind wandering, that's okay, it's all right. Just gently and firmly invite the focus to return, to recenter yourself. And then finally, if that is comfortable for you, appropriate for you, you can choose to take a few deep breaths, inviting freshness, energy to come in with the in breath, and then softly releasing fully, breathing out fully. So, one more time, breathing in fully, a long, deep breath. and holding, and then breathing out, perhaps with an audible out breath, releasing, encouraging the body to relax, and then taking your time to allow the breathing to return to normal. And then if you have closed your eyes, feel free to open the eyes again to connect to the ambience, the environments, the room, allowing your awareness to include this virtual space that we enjoy and share together. So once again, welcome you joining this session tonight. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to invite you to do um, a formal sitting meditation practice to cultivate mindfulness, the inner self-awareness about the present moments, experiences. So no matter what we feel and what we experience, we can have a non-judgmental way to observe and to be willing to stay with and be with what is in those moments. Okay, just allowing the body to be upright, feeling the body in contact with the chair. Perhaps you may need to take some time to shake out yourself to bring in this energy to soften the body a little bit before we move into a practice together. So inviting the body to be still, inviting stillness to this body. So finding a midway, uh, finding a posture that will allow you to be comfortable, at ease, and also alert and wakeful. Having a sense of dignity in the body. So you can ask yourself, you can feel inside yourself, inside the body, what posture will support you to do that. Not too loose, not too tight. And then you can choose to rest your hands, your arms beside you or on the laps or between the hips. If that is possible and comfortable and safe for you, you can choose to close your eyes or maintain a downward soft gaze. Cultivating this inner self awareness from moment to moment. So being present of what is going on internally and externally. You can name them or you can just sense them, not judging, not chasing, not pushing away. See if you can stay with whatever arises, moments after moment. So now, allowing the focus, the attention inside you to arise and emerge. What we're going to do is to do a brief body scan in this seated posture or in whatever posture you are using, lying down or standing. Now, guiding the attention to your belly, the abdominal area, we can use a few moments to notice our breathing first. So you can choose to breathe with your nostrils if that is appropriate for you, allowing the breath, allowing the air to move in and out through your nose. And then pay attention to notice the belly, the abdomen, how it falls and rises as you breathe. See if you can concentrate on the movement, a slightly narrow focus, just following every in breath and out breath. So practicing this in silence. If you notice distractions, mind wanderings, then just come back to the breathing. So now continue to hold this focus as if you're holding a beam of light, holding a flashlight in your hand. But now it inside you. And now we can guide this light, this attention and focus down the body. So shifting the attention from the abdomen to your feet, arriving into the toes, and just checking, detecting what is present right now around the toes and your feet. So we don't have to make any adjustment, or we don't have to change or create any sensation, just noticing what is present here, receiving, opening to whatever arises. And then on your next inhalation, as you breathe in, expanding the awareness to your heels and the ankles. So, sensing from within, perhaps you may notice some slight subtle sensations like heat, pulsing, tingling, vibrations, or you might feel nothing at all. That's okay as well. We can allow the lack of sensations to be here, not changing, not expecting, simply staying with what is. And then continuing on your next inhalation, as you breathe in, continue to expand the awareness to cover the legs, the lower legs on both sides, holding, sensing, including the shins, the calves, the muscles, the bones, the skin. It is okay if you notice some distractions, or you may feel an urge to move or to scratch or to do something about the body. See if you can just use some times, perhaps maybe a few seconds, for yourself to stay with whatever show up, to observe them, the nature of the sensations, the nature of the urge, and in particular, any emotions arises, feeling annoyed, impatient, or disappointed, or maybe something else. So after a few moments, if you still want to move or adjust the body, you can do that. You can slightly scratch your body or move a little bit. But I want you to do that mindfully. I want you to do that consciously, and also being clear about what changed afterwards. Noticing the impact of the change, the adjustment. So continue to be present with the body. And now, on your next inhalation, expanding, shifting the focus to your knees and your thighs. Savoring, paying attention to the connection in your knees, the ligament, the tendon, the kneecaps, and also becoming aware of how they are connected to the thighs, feeling the strength in the thighs, the weight, the soreness or softness or tightness inside the thighs. So being curious without judgment and being kind with this body, acknowledging all the work, all the hard work done and supported by the body, sensing the aliveness inside you, inside this body, the energy. And then now, on your next out breath, releasing the legs and the feet. And as you breathe in again, inviting the attention, the focus to move into the hips, noticing the pelvis region, the pelvis, the buttocks, and then continue to expand the awareness to the torso. So feeling the body part by part, one part at a time, feeling the chunk, starting with the abdomen, the belly, the abs, and the organs inside this region, and breathing into it, noticing the lower back as well, the front and the back of the lower part in the torso. And then gently, gradually moving the awareness upwards to the middle of the torso, feeling the spine, the vertebrae, feeling the diaphragm expanding and contracting as you breathe. Now continuing to move upward, arriving into the chest region, noticing the ribs, the rib cage, protecting the organs inside the chest, the lungs, the heart. So receiving, opening to all these subtle movements. And all the sensations that you may be able to detect and notice. We don't have to search for any particular feeling. We can just sit with them if they appears, if they arise and change. Noticing the changing nature inside the body. So this moment you may feel tight. The next moment it may change. This moment you may feel coolness or cold. The next moment you may feel a little bit warmer. We don't need to cling on to any particular sensation. And actually, we can just be open and curious to receive the changes, to ride the waves of changes, trying to be okay with whatever shows up moment after moment, having this patience inside us. And then now, gently guiding the attention to the shoulders, checking into the shoulders on both sides. You may feel stiff, tight. So, like I said before, you can choose to stay with these sensations, or you can also choose to soften a little bit with the breathing, as if you're breathing into these regions, breathing into the tightness, and softening the edge with the breaths. So, in this way, we can cultivate a better capacity to be with discomfort, to allow ourselves to be resilient with difficulties. And now, as you breathe in, sorry, as you breathe out, softly releasing the awareness around the torso. And once you breathe in again, guiding the attention to move into both arms. Noticing the shoulder joints, the upper arms, the armpits, the biceps, triceps, and also noticing the elbows, the joints inside the elbows. What is showing up here? And also allowing the awareness to include the forearms, feeling feeling the muscles, the bones, the wrists, and hands, the palms, the fingers, the fingertips, so they may be in touch with the body or with the floor, the chair. So filling these regions in the body with your awareness, and then breathing out, releasing the arms and the hands. And then also checking in your attention, the quality of your attention. Are you still being present? Are you still present? If not, that's okay. But you can invite yourself to come back, and also making a choice for yourselves what can support you to be focused and present again, wakeful again. And then now, bring the attention to your neck and the head. Noticing this complex region responsible for our perceptions, the thinking. So noticing what is present right now, here, any weight, heaviness, tightness, or softness in the neck, the head, the face. Just knowing and breathe. Continue to breathe as you are scanning through the face, the head. So now, one more time, expanding the awareness, the attention. So turning on a big floodlight or spotlight to encompass this whole body, the crown of the head, the feet to the toe of the toes, and finding this body as a whole one more time. And if you're willing to, you can just send yourself some messages to invite some kindness and acceptance or compassion to this body, acknowledging all the hard work, all the efforts provided by this body, this miracle, the vehicle of our lives, all the movements they have done, all the strength they provide, the energy, acknowledging and maybe sending some well wishes to ourselves, to this body. May this body be strong. May this body be healthy. May this body be comfortable and safe. You can repeat these phrases yourself, or you can just come up with your own language and words to offer some kindness to this body, some acknowledgement, appreciating, and being aware of how it may feel for you, how it feels like to connect with the body, to be kind with this body. So continue with this practice until you hear the bells. So then, taking your time, don't need to be rushed. Bring some movements to the body, wiggling your fingers, your toes, rolling your wrists, your shoulders. Noticing what is called for right now for this body, what is needed, taking care for yourselves. And then once you feel ready, you can gently open the eyes to allow your sight, your visual perception to receive color, receive images, light, darkness. Okay, so here we are after this body scan practice. And so feel free to type in the chat to check in again, noticing what is here right now after the practice, what is showing up in the body, and what is showing up in the mind. So feel free to type in the chat and let all of us know. So the reminder or the invitation is to be honest and to honor whatever shows up, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant or neutral for you. So take a moment to acknowledge them. So, okay, all right. All right. So, tiredness and perhaps a lack of focus. Yeah, that would happen in meditation practice. And the key is to just try your best to try your best and to keep trying. And because the body's condition can change from day to day, so we can be a scientist and just like doing experiments. So today's um we don't need to consider it as a performance, because meditation is not a performance. It's just a connection with ourselves, just a way uh, to cultivate awareness, so we can see you can see it objectively. And today's how it went today doesn't mean has it has to be like this the same way the next time you do the same practice. So, and continue to ask yourself what ways would support you to do the practice. um, for example, if you find that it is hard to focus, concentrate, then perhaps you can choose to find a more quiet or private spot to do that. Or you can just acknowledge what is showing up in the mind, if that is the source of your distraction, thoughts or emotions or anything else, and try to find a way that would be helpful for you to keep up with the practice. And of course, and I mentioned this uh, and earlier with other participants, is you can take some mental breaks in between the practice. During the practice, actually, you can you can split it up yourselves. And if you find, okay, I just need to take half a minute or a minute to relax and just don't follow along, then you can choose to do that. And once you feel ready or feel more comfortable, then feel free to come back to follow again. So that is some tricks that we can do in our practice. Thank you for the questions and the sharing. All right. So body scans very helpful, and yes, increasing the awareness with the body. That's right. Thank you for sharing that. So hope you can keep this up, Paul. And also thank you, Raymond, for your sharing too. Okay, so for the last couple of minutes, I like to invite all of us to do a compassion practice, a loving kindness practice, because it came to my attention that some participants in the last few weeks they talked about um, interpersonal relationships. Especially they were dealing with some conflicts with other people in their lives, in their circles. And in mindfulness, especially loving kindness practice or compassion practice, a way to help us deal with this situation, this difficult interpersonal relationship situations. We can't, of course, we can control how other people responses and their reactions or their behaviors, but we can observe our emotions, maybe triggered by those reactions from them, and we can be mindful of our reaction, our inner reactions, and the changes in our emotions and thoughts patterns and our behaviors. And so then we can use some practice, for example, the loving kindness or compassion practice, to help us loosen up and soften the tension inside us, so that we can reclaim the calmness, we can reclaim this peacefulness inside us, to help us cope with these situations and to prepare ourselves to communicate better and engage with the others in a more healthy way and conscious way. So, so finally, let's just take a moment to sit back again, to settle in one more time. So feel free to choose. You can choose to close your eyes, just soften a little bit, releasing the tension with your out breaths, if that is possible for you. And I'd like to invite you to place both hands or just one hand on your chest, your heart region. And I'd like you to take a few moments to observe your heart, your your emotions, your feelings inside you in this moment. And you may choose to um, recall someone in your mind, the person who you love or you care so much, a person that is important for you. You may choose to invite that person to arrive, to come into your mind, your heart. It is okay if you can't imagine or visualize any person at all, and just follow along and experience as best you can. And see if you can hold that person inside your heart, a person who you love, you care, you help feel happy genuinely with them or with him or her. And noticing, acknowledging that every single one in this world may suffer from time to time. Everyone suffers in their lives, sickness, illness, pain, financial situations, work, stress. So we can be compassionate. We can acknowledge that this is a common humanity, as we may suffer as well in our lives. So noticing this connection, this shared nature of humanity. Of course, it may feel hurt. It may feel so difficult and hard. However, we can cultivate a sense of acceptance, a sense of softness and gentleness to befriend these situations. And we can also send some kindness to that person as well and wish him or her to be well and safe and to cope with their situation, their sufferings with kindness, gentleness. So inside your heart, you can choose to say these few words to that person. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you can protect yourself. May you can deal with your difficulties with kindness, patience. May you find your strength. May you be happy. So you can continue to repeat these phrases, or you can just choose your own language, your own words to send this kindness, compassion to that person in your heart. And then now, gently releasing, letting go of your hands, softening, relaxing, and taking a few more breaths, acknowledging the feeling, how it feels like to send kindness, caring, and compassion to other people or that person. So here we are, gently opening the eyes when you feel ready. And continue to hold and cultivate this compassion towards others and also towards ourselves as we return to our lives and continue with our activities, so that as a way we can release the tension, tension inside us and uh, among ourselves with other people. All right. Thank you for your presence and your engagement. Um, Thanks for joining the session tonight, and um, I hope that you have a nice weekend and restful weekend.